What is up? This is the Keyholing podcast with Lemon. Again today, a fantastic guest. My good friend, Eva. Thank you again for joining me. Today we're going to talk about picking out your first piece or your first tool and kind of your experience with that. Because you do, for those that don't know, Eva's an instructor, you do run into a lot of new shooters, correct? What are some hesitations you encounter with them in regard to picking a gun for the first time?
Yeah, so I think honestly the biggest one is they don't know what to get. And a lot of instructors will give their clients like a bunch of options, be like, oh, you can get like this gun works, this gun works, this gun works. Like here's like a bunch of good spots to get a holster from. Here is like a bunch of different lights that you could get. I work a little bit differently. I will tell them outright, you need a Glock 19, you need a holosun, some sort of holosun. Usually my recommendation is like a 407 because it's like pretty cheap, doesn't have solar, which I think is a gimmicky feature anyway. And then like Streamlight TLR7, like I think the X is the most recent version of it. And Gorilla Tactical holster, and an Enigma if you want to get really spicy with it. And I really find that works really well. I think a lot of people are just like nervous about what to get. I think a lot of people are also like worried that it'll be the wrong fit. They're like the gun will be the wrong fit for them. And it's not something you can like new shooters don't know how to evaluate that. And if I see someone really not working with the Glock, I might suggest they try something else, but yeah.
Well, yeah, and sometimes it's just a matter of getting something different in your hands, right? And being like, oh, okay. But generally, like, I see a lot of choice paralysis come up, which I think kind of what you're describing people run into. And I kind of do the same thing now. So I used to give people a lot of options, right? And say, like, these are options, but we forget the people that are just getting into this, they may become gun nerds, but they aren't really gun nerds yet, right? So they don't necessarily care about being able to adjust the backstrap or whatever the fuck it may be. And also I encourage Glocks because of compatibility reasons, right? Like, now, obviously, like, a lot of brands take Glock mags, but if someone's going to be moving up to a carbine, there's tons of Glock mag carbines. There's tons of fun PCCs. People, if you're, like, building up to rifle shooting, which kind of getting into that as well, like... Well, let's continue on pistols first. I want to keep pistols and rifles separate. But... One thing I encourage people to do is go shoot it because, for example, I recommend the Shield to people. I really like it. The Shield Plus. It's small and can you can carry up to 15, which is more than enough in my opinion. There's this weird tactical obsession where it's like you have to carry 17 and multiple mags, and it's like the statistics say that's a very unlikely. Like it's very unlikely you need that. But, which if you can, better to be prepared. But the idea of pocket carry is especially in the winter. That's what I do like the majority of the time. You've heard me talk about my Ruger LCP. Yeah, no, definitely. But I don't think people realize how snappy they can be, especially for a new shooter. They pop. They've got some kick to them. It's like you accidentally got a spicy wing. Like you're eating wings and you eat spicy and you're like, that's got some heat to it. It really does. And so here's the thing, like, even if you don't necessarily want a Glock for whatever reason, whether it be a smart one, or a stupid reason, you should learn how to shoot one, right? And they aren't intuitively hard to learn. Like, if you can't shoot a Glock, the chances you can shoot something else proficiently is fairly low. And also, once you get to talking about, like, oh, this gun makes you a better shooter, we're talking about competition level shooting. Something a new person isn't really going to be anywhere near. or me, honestly. Like I don't know. We have friends that making a slight grip adjustment or changing the back strap or going with a different model that's slightly lighter and an alloy frame and changing the grips can make a small difference for them at a competition a shooter level, but for beginners this isn't going to affect anything, essentially, correct?
Oh, no, not at all. Not in any real way. Like, I think, and also not have like here's the thing, Glocks. The thing with Glocks that I'm always telling my students is like, Glocks are interesting and that they are one of the only like, they're a gun that is in many ways so perfect that anything you put into it is just spending money to make your gun worse.
Well, and I think people kind of do this with 3D printers as well, and computers, and
I bet
a lot of things in general where it's like, oh, this one thing will improve it, and it's like, aside from an optic and a light, nothing else like like you don't need the likelihood of you needing a better trigger is very low.
No, like you're 99% of people are not good enough. Or not, they're just not good enough for it to make a difference.
Which, that's the thing. It's like, oh, okay, if you're at a gun show and they're giving some away, they do the giveaways, or like, and it's like, oh, okay, I have a second gun I want to fuck with. Okay, fine. Like, fucking with stuff is fun, and fucking with guns is super fun. But at the same time, don't change things just to change. You think it's going to make you a better shooter? It's not, right. It's like, it's the equivalent of like, you don't need the Nike marathon shoes to run a 5K, right? Like, you don't need, and I think that prohibits, like, feels cost prohibitive to people because they think, oh, I need a staccato, I need a Instagram gun, and in reality, you don't. And I'll be talking to a few more people about this in the future, and talked about this in the channel in the past, but this idea that you need a better trigger or you need a better stippled grip, like, if you want, but in theory none of those things can replace dry firing and putting rounds down range. So what are some errors you see new shooters make? One I've seen traditionally is people always, every new gun owner, it seems like, I feel like gets an Uncle Mike's holster at some point, or like
they all get some like stupid bullshit. And like, I mean, I don't know, I was a new gun owner myself, and I taught myself pretty much everything I know about shooting, and I bought some stupid bullshit, but I think that's also just kind of why, like, that's why I tell them exactly which holster to buy. But as far as mistakes I see them make, a lot of people buy like shitty Amazon slop. And it's just like really poor quality. Like, actually, it was really funny. I was in a stop the bleed class. I was teaching a stop the bleed class yesterday, and someone was commenting on how they thought that the fact that you're only supposed to use tourniquets once is capitalist. And you're not supposed to like use like a training tourniquet as a carry tourniquet, and also how they thought that it was capitalist that we couldn't buy knockoff ones on Amazon, and then it was just like, and I was like, dog, like, but I think it's really emblematic of like a way that like a lot of people they're just trying to save a buck, and whichever way they justify, they're just trying to save a buck.
No, and I get it, particularly in this economy, but like, talk about that too, like newcomers with first aid stuff, like that's why I generally recommend, like, I've taken Stop the Bleed, I've done a lot of research and things of that nature, and so like it's super easy, like logical stuff. I don't like everyone should take a Stop the Bleed class. Chances are there's a free or cheap one. If not, there's tons of similar resources online that you can at least learn yourself. It's not cost prohibitive. I recommend the Better Way 2A pack, where it's like the little IFAK they sell, because it's so much easier than having to go pick your own stuff out. And what is the point of saving $2 on a chest seal?
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
No. Or $5 on a tourniquet. NAR, North American Rescue, just had a sale.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can find like deals at Optics Planet or Midway, And if you're getting something else already, it's included in the 10% off or 15% off, or it's included in like birthday pricing, potentially, things of that nature. Yeah. And so if you need to scrounge for stuff, it is possible to still get quality stuff. Don't cheap out on tourniquet. Don't cheap out on stuff that can save your life.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, no. ETS mags are so fun, and I enjoy them. Yeah. But I would never carry them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, I have my mags marked, like whenever I have my, like, my cheap mags and my, like, old carry mags that are, like, a little worn out now, they're just, like, I put a T on them. I only use them for training.
No, definitely. In particular, like, we talk about, like, Glock brand mags or Glock Dude mags. And this 3D printed gun community has really found this out recently with the Menendez mags being upgraded. But the metal feed lips are a huge, like, requirement, essentially. Yeah. Like, after training for a bit or shooting for a bit, like, the plastic really starts to wear out. Which the polymer, which again, like, if it's a bullshit, like, for Recession Ruger or your Mac at the range and you're trying out an FRT and you're fucking around, okay, fine, but don't carry those mags. Don't. No. And they kind of fall into the look cool trap, right? They are relatively cheap. They look cool. But just because something looks cool, in fact, if something looks cool, the chances of it being good are not that great.
Oh yeah, no, and that's what, like, when I try to sell people on Glock, I'm like, this is a boring gun. It's an ugly gun. It's a boring gun, but it's the Honda Civic of the gun world. Like, it's gonna work every time.
No, definitely, and you're able to help other people with it, right? Yeah. As far as a lot of people getting into guns right now, in particular, are going to have people in their life who aren't into guns. Maybe like a parent or a cousin or a partner or things of that nature. And having a frame of reference, like, you can transfer to these people to help them when picking that out. And help them give that knowledge to other people, right? Like, every person you tell, hey, make sure you get a real tourniquet, is hopefully telling another person, oh yeah, who's just getting into guns, oh yeah, I just took this class and here's where you buy your tourniquets from. Yeah. And kind of similarly, kind of transitioning to rifles now a little bit, get an AR, right? And like,
don't buy some stupid bullshit.
No, and also you don't need talk with Spike about this, you don't need a Daniel Defense. No. Whoop-de-doo bullshit. You don't need.
No, I have a PS, like, my rifle that I'm, like, always posting, that is a PSA rifle. I bought it for $479 like 5 years ago. Yeah. And it hasn't malfunctioned or jammed once.
And you aren't going to outshoot it, right? Like, now I will say the rifle trigger is a little bit different than
absolutely,
than a Glock, like, than a handgun trigger, because of the difference it makes. But, like, you don't need a Geisley trigger. The LaRue MBT is great for around $100.
And also, if you're going to get a Geisley trigger, don't pay full price for it. They go on sale for 50% off, like, every few months.
Oh, 100%. All the traditional sale holidays, right? So, like, Veterans Day is a big one. For those getting into guns or don't necessarily know, Veterans Day is a big sale. July 4th is a big sale. Yeah. Obviously, Christmas and Black Friday and stuff. Memorial Day is another big sale. And things pop up frequently, like you said, like, don't buy stuff full price. The LaRue MBT goes on sale for a very good deal, particularly PSA stuff. The PSA polish trigger is like $50 or $60 and can go on sale. Like, the idea that you have to be cost prohibitive is kind of absurd, and it's so funny. My absolute shitter rifle, we had a leftist sicko comment, wow, how much did this rifle cost? And it literally cost me, like, 3D printed one, but it literally cost me like $300. Like, do not spend, you don't have to spend money. Like, it particularly, like, the thing you should be spending most on is the optic, and after that, maybe the light and trigger, right? Like, aside from the upper itself, lowers can be whatever.
Oh yeah, you don't need like a fucking like a Geisley lower or a fucking like Daniel Defense lower or like whatever the
Knight's
fuck.
Armory, yeah, you don't.
Knight's Armory, yeah. Like if you're looking for an ambidextrous one, that is like an argument. But I'm left-handed. I have a fully mil-spec lower, and just put like about $100 worth of parts in it, and it's now left-handed compatible.
Well, and that's the thing, like, it is so much talking about like compatibility and accessibility. As far as getting a ambi mag release and an ambi safety, that's pretty much it, right? Like, you don't need a specific hand. Now, is it nice to have those things if they go on sale? Definitely, but I feel like a lot of people use an excuse to say, well, they don't have this specific thing I want or need, and in reality, you don't need that, or you. If you think you do, like, it's not going to make you a better shooter. A Geisley lower will 1,000% not make you a better shooter.
No, there are so many better things to spend your money on.
No, most definitely.
A nice lower.
We talked about optics, so kind of explain to people when you're getting your rifle the process of deciding whether you want a red dot, LPVO, things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much always recommend people start with a red dot. It's kind of like the simplest, it's the cheapest, and it's always nice to have an extra red dot somewhere. There you can get like a Holliston ARO, which is kind of like the new equivalent of the 403B, which I just think they still make, but it's just like kind of replaced in their product lineup.
Yeah, and
you can get one of those for like $100.
Yeah, no, and you can find like the even the 403Bs on pretty decent sale optics, Planet, things like that frequently.
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as LPVOs go, I'm not as knowledgeable, but Vortex makes good ones, Primary Arms makes good ones, and it's kind of hard to go wrong with either of them.
Well, it kind of goes back to the thing, are they the best?
Yeah.
Do you need the best? Also, no.
Yeah, and that's that's also why I recommend like that people start off with just like a red dot, because like a cheap red dot is really great.
No,
like,
it is.
It is at the end of the day a circle with a dot in it. When you talk about LPVOs, like there's a lot more that goes into making a good one. You have like eye relief concerns, you have like optical quality concerns. Red dot's really a piece of glass with a fucking dot in it.
No, definitely. And I get a lot of people, when talking to people who are new around guns, the fear of, or even people who've been around guns for a while, the fear of astigmatism, right? My astigmatism is very bad. Guess what I do?
Yeah, mine too.
Shoot in the center of the red dot.
Yeah. Yeah, lower the brightness in the red dot, or just just get a 1 MOA dot.
Also, green dots can help. To me, the green is a little bit more eye relief. I don't have to feel like I'm squinting as much, and
I actually feel the exact opposite.
Really, and see, that's why you should test them out. Like, it's so subjective. Now, we talked about just shooting in the Glock. No, have your friends. I guarantee your friends have different optics. Try a green dot out. Try a red dot out. You may even be able to try them out at a range. Like, it doesn't have to be on the specific rifle you're trying. Just
look through it.
No, definitely look through it and see what's good for your eye. But don't try and trick yourself, and don't trick your wallet. Right? You kind of we talked about. You don't need a $1,000 optic.
No, and it's really funny. Like I have this Holliston AEMS sitting on my desk right now. That I upgraded from a 403B on my rifle to, and like, it's not better. Like, it's not. It is the green dot like messing me up a little bit, but it's like, it is at the end of the day still an optic, like a tube with a dot in it.
No, definitely, and I think there's this idea where it's like you put something on a rifle and it has to stay there. If you end up not liking the red dot, move it to a bullshit PCC. Move it to your Kel-Tec, or if you're 3D printing, move it to a Recession Ruger. And then, or like, just do that as a cost-effective way. Like, if you're like, hey, I want an LPVO. I've shot one, but I can't afford it right now. Okay, you can live with a red dot.
Yeah,
like a red dot is more than fine and will last you as long as you need it to.
It absolutely will.
And so, kind of transitioning now into 3D printed guns. It's pretty much the same thing. I've been like kind of cross-referencing it, but again, if you're getting interested in printing something, print an AR. Print a Glock. Learn how to put them together. And again, you don't need a Glock brand upper. You can go to Math and use code Lemon Snow Cone to get 10% off. They have the spooky rails. You don't need a crazy upper for a 3D printed gun. Bear Creek Armory, like these are like $200, $250 endeavors. The Mac 11 from Aves, you can get that for under $300, and you print the Mod Mac. And we're talking about you move a red dot over from another gun, you maybe throw a cheap trigger in there, like now it does do these things cost money? Yes, obviously, but I think people have the idea that it's every gun has to cost $500 or $1,000 and that's just not true, right? And also something to talk about, used is fine generally, right? Like maybe like
oh my god,
know what you're getting from a pawn shop, but when you're getting into a gun community and developing a gun community, people are constantly selling and trading stuff out, swapping gear, things of that nature, and this is going to be rejected by some people, and it still is, but used LEO stuff is fine. They barely shoot that shit generally.
They don't ever shoot that shit. A lot of them have like 150 rounds through them.
No, definitely. It's like if you want to try a full size, like a Glock 17 LEO, we're talking about $400. Like used LEO, maybe even less if you find a great deal. Like it isn't cost prohibitive to want to change stuff around, to try different things. I think the primary concern to me is getting people a gun, right? Like once you get a gun, like get a solid gun, then you can fiddle, try different things out, watch Gunbroker for auctions, things of that nature. What are some recommendations you want to give people as far as helping new people like into the gun community? So we talk about getting their first piece, but kind of talking people through their first time shooting, not giving a full lesson necessarily, but what are some tips and tricks you found when helping people shoot for the first time and really try and things of that, like actually like trying to shoot, not just dumping in trash, I should say.
I think the biggest thing that I see in new shooters is they're afraid of the gun. And a lot of that's just like remind yourself, like when you're shooting, if this is like your first time ever shooting, especially if you're by yourself, just like breathe, watch some YouTube videos beforehand on like how to hold the gun, practice beforehand. Ideally, if you have someone you can go with who like knows more than you, go with them, but also like watch YouTube videos ahead of time, because a lot of times, like I've seen a lot of people teaching people how to shoot who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like I've seen a lot of boyfriends teaching their girlfriends how to shoot, like having them do like teacup and saucer or some bullshit like that, or just like not correcting them in their grip when it's like clearly wrong.
I think that's like a main thing that I see is being scared of the gun, and the consequence of that being like anticipating, one, and two, the support hand not gripping it firm enough, like being kind of scared of it biting you. And it's like if you're holding it the correct way, it won't bite you.
No,
right?
It won't.
And I think there's so much confidence gained from just getting a few holes accurately on paper. Really, that's the thing I see the most is the support hand. You gotta grip that. You gotta grip it. Its grip's gotta be crazy. And in regard to shooting a rifle, I think it's just shooting it. Like an AR is so easy to shoot.
Oh my god, it's like the hard part about a rifle is like the manipulation.
Oh, definitely, and feeling something so like in comparison to tool wise, like a handgun's more of a hammer, and a rifle would be more of a shovel as far as like manipulating it, shouldering it, things of that nature. And I think manipulation is a great point. Do you have any tips for people? I think the main thing I would say is just do it, right? Like
really just do it. Just dry fire. Get a good shot timer.
Are there any good... Well, you can also have someone do the beeps for you. No, this is a pro shot timer podcast, but I need to get one, seriously. I do need to get one, seriously. I think something that comes up frequently with rifles is people are scared there's going to be a kick or something of that nature. If your buffer is correct, it's... Shooting a rifle is significantly easier than shooting a handgun.
Oh my god, so much more.
Like, we had an experience when we were down in Louisiana. A young lady came in and she had never shot a rifle, and she was talking to Eva, and he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're like chatting it up, and they get to shoot. And she loved it.
Yeah.
Like, we're helping her out. And that's something I want to encourage too. Like,
talk to people.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you're in the gun community and you're very experienced, helping people shoot their first gun, helping people print their first gun, helping people build their first gun, swap out their first trigger, whatever it may be, is so rewarding internally. Not only do you get that sense of satisfaction of them completing it, but it makes you feel good, and in a selfish way, that's really awesome.
Yeah. Exactly.
And like, I'm kind of like talk a little bit about your feelings after, like, right after completing a class, that come down. How does that feel in your tummy?
It feels great. Like, I love... Wait, are you talking about like my feelings as an instructor, or like someone's like... As an instructor.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels great.
I also want to say too, like, instructors should be taking classes and continuing to learn.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It feels great. I love teaching people, and I think I'm honestly pretty decent at it. Like, it's one of the best feelings in the world to like have someone like who's like really starting out, like terrified of the gun, and like just like pulling all their shots slow, and then like by the end of it, like they're shooting like 15 yards pretty quickly, getting all their hits on paper, getting like perfect scores in the qualifier, getting like real tight groups from like closer.
No, it totally is, and kind of similarly, Stop the Bleed. Once people see, it's not as intimidating, right? Like, that's what I just want to encourage people is to get your friends to try it, right? Like, if you're helping a friend pick out a first piece, simplify it down for them. Yeah. Like, legitimately be like, I'll go to the gun store with you. I've done that before in the past. It's sometimes, even if it's just emotional support, it helps people relax. And once you help them understand it's not intimidating, and once you help them understand Stop the Bleed isn't, you don't have to put a stint in, you don't have to do crazy shit. Yeah. It really is so accessible, and I think for the gun community to grow, for gun safety to improve, for Stop the Bleed and first aid as a society, for us to improve in those areas, people have to realize how accessible that is. Yeah, they do. And I want to say with that as well, like, encourage people to take Stop the Bleed classes. If you're really interested in it and like teaching like Eva, it's not hard, right? Like, what was the process to become an instructor? Like, how long did it take for you?
It cost me like $400. I took a American Red Cross first aid and CPR instructors class. I think it was like a 2-day class. Super easy, lots of fun, did it with a few friends. And then from there, you just like apply. If you're already like an EMT or a paramedic, you can just get the license to teach without taking any class. But yeah, super easy, super simple.
Awesome. Yeah. Please, people, do this. We need more people. I don't even think we need more people with guns necessarily. Like, yes, I would love for you to and your friends to get a gun and shoot a gun and carry a gun. But first aid.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very much of the opinion that like so there's this kind of training format that I pioneered with like a local group that I've done a lot of work with, where what we do is we have people and we teach them how to shoot, and then we also teach them stop.
No, that's absolutely awesome, and we have a similar setup in my state, and it's kind of finding those local groups. Generally, there are going to be people who like guns and shoot guns at your Stop the Bleed. So, kind of like we said, talk to your neighbor. If you don't have people to shoot guns with, ask people at Stop the Bleed. Be like, hey, I'm taking Stop to Bleed. I'm getting into guns. I took a class. Are there range days? Do you know of any groups around here?
Mm-hmm.
And go to a range day. You're not committing to anything. It's just an afternoon shooting normally. But often they'll be once or twice a month. And once or twice a month with dry firing is totally reasonable and will help you improve dramatically.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there have been times where I haven't shot for like 5 or 6 months and I just like dry fire and I get like a lot better.
No, definitely. And also I think it's the thing where you just need to step away sometimes.
You really do.
I think particularly when you're running drills, visualizing it helps so much. You talked about watching
it really
YouTube,
does.
but visualizing it in your head. Tried it a couple times. One of the best shooters we know, she's impossibly hard on herself. Be hard on yourself, right? Be critical. Don't
be as mean as she is, though.
No.
She's also, a little too hard on herself.
Yeah, you're never going to be that good, so don't worry about it. But be critical. Have your friend record. This isn't things that require, if you don't have like the shot timer app necessarily, have your friend record. Watch your shoulders. Watch your offhand. Watch your stance. Well, like, are you leaning? Like, there's so many things you can look at that you can improve without buying any of those accessories we talked about. So that's what I would encourage people to do. Thank you, Eva, for coming on. If anyone has any questions about picking out their first piece, our DMs are open. Normally, gun people are really receptive. So if you have a question, ask someone with a gun. If you see a cool gun at the range, ask them to shoot it. Normally, they would love for you to shoot it. They would love to talk about it with you if you're interested in learning about a gun. Particularly the old folks will yap your ear off, and it's awesome. If that's something you want to learn about, the resources are there for you.